quickly start to our program without wasting any time. We'll give a small introduction about Commander Vikas Yadav. Sir is a short service commissioned officer. He has completed his 14 years and he has retired from Indian Navy as a commander. He is a specialist in electronic warfare and signal communication. So he's a specialist also. Along with that, sir was privileged to do the GTO course whilst he was in service and has also served for last 5 years before his retirement in SSB Bhopal, 33 SSB Bhopal. Along with that, he was given the privilege, or he was privileged to be the commissioning crew, we say, or you can say the commissioning board members, board officers for the Kolkata SSB board, which was commissioned recently. He was a GTO. So I don't have to tell in minute things about what is GTO, what is IO, and what is TO. You all are aware. And you all are aware what is SSB interview. So I'm not going into the basics of that. Myself, Lieutenant Commander Ashwant, I hope you all know me. I don't have to give any introduction about myself. We all have been connected for a long time. The many candidates have, sir, messaged me just half an hour before that, sir, we won't be able to join the session. Please record the session and all. Some 500 to 600 messages have been there in the chat boxes. Don't worry, people. We are recording the sessions for you, because this is going to be a wonderful session. This is going to be an eye-opener for all aspirants who are joining or who are going to join, or you're preparing. There might be people who would have given SSB interviews in your, maybe after your +2, maybe after graduation. There might be many people who are going to give your SSB interview in short while, maybe after your graduation, after clearing SSB, after clearing CDS exams and all. So let's move on to the session. So let me invite our chief guest for the program, Commander Vikas Yadav. So that's a short introduction about him. Still, sir, if I have missed out anything, if you can give a small introduction about yourself, whatever points I have missed out, so that our young, the aspirants who are looking for you to hear from you more than from me. So let's start with the program with a small intro about sir in detail, which all points or which all areas I have missed out. Then we will move on to our session. So please, 2 minutes intro about you, those points which I have missed.
Okay, thank you, Ashwant. I mean, to first of all, call me here and introduce with this candidate. And I think you've not missed anything. But as a force, you always think of lots of things to add on, and something which you keep on telling about candidates. So I joined Indian Navy in fact, I got commissioned in Indian Navy in Jan 2008. Thereafter, maximum time I have, being an executive officer, maximum time I spent on board different ships only. Then I did this GTO course, and I think Ashwant, how difficult or how prestigious this course is to be counted. And thereafter, I got an opportunity, in fact, to be part of various SSBs. And I think opportunity came in such a way that I was the commissioning senior GTO of SSB Kolkata, where not only I got an opportunity, to commission the base, but also from designing, to making various structures which are required in GTO ground and any other requirement of a base. I was totally involved. I mean, these kind of, I must say it was privileged, because, when you go at such a places, exactly nuances about the systems and how it works, how SSB works, how actually, as an assessor, we should think, how we should design the testing work. Thereafter, I was in 33 SSB and retired from 33 SSB, where I got an opportunity not only in Navy, but also carry out assessment in the various army boards. And I was fortunate enough to be the part of, in fact, a selection center South Bangalore, and as well as Naval Selection Board Visakhapatnam. At various occasions I've been there, and be it some kind of inspection or some kind of testing, or fulfilling those requirements. So that way, I've been very lucky, and in fact, this is one of the best time I have seen, because when you remain in the psychological part, you see this candidate day in and day out. And, as I told in my introductory videos, also thousands of candidates. I mean, all of them come with lots of dreams and something. So you just, get to interact other than, assessing. It's not the US assessing, but you also get to interact with this young energy. And it was, a good part about the system. So that's all. And in this January, I just got retired after I completed my business management from IIM Indore. That's all about me.
Nice. Thank you, sir, for the small intro. So you all would have understood by now who is Commander Vikas Yadav. So he has given a small introduction about himself. Sir, many candidates across India has been asking you also personally, and they have been asking us also, that as Academy also, about various questions, basic questions like, so what all are the various entries into armed forces? What all are the criteria required, age qualification, this, that, and all. A chunk of questions are related to SSB interview procedures.
Yeah.
So you might have observed in your tenure also a lot of doubts. So generically, if you would like to give 5 advices for those aspirants who are keenly preparing for SSB interview, what would be those 5 points that you would like, or 5 advices? There, I know you can give n number of advices, but the five advices that you would like to give, what will be those 5, sir?
Okay, I think the first thing I must tell, every candidate has to decide. Once you've decided, decision has to be final. It is not like whether I have to prepare or not. The first decision, you have to take the first step, like fill up the form and decide. Now I have to join the academy. Or, think about academy when I say join this, defense academy for training part. So, take this thing to that level that, okay, my determination is so high. What come or whatever come, but I will not going to leave this in between. I'm going to join this academy at any cost. When you have this kind of mental caliber or design, things will automatically come into place. So, there is a very common saying you must have heard at various places, very ancient saying, mansa vacha karna. And it is like mansa, when we talk about, your own thoughts, your vacha, like your speech, what you say, and karma, what your actions. When all these 3 align as a one, then only, the kind of personality which is required, you can, come into. There is, when people keep telling you, there is a different way of doing things like, you may lie about it, you can say anything about a personality. It is not like that. In SSB, our candidate is exposed in every sense. So, not only your conscious, but subconscious and unconscious mind is also being observed there. So the best part is like whatever personality you are, thinking, okay, I have to, go into this direction. You have to actually either mold into a particular kind of personality or start thinking. There is no lie there. Okay. And of course, you need to have a proper guidance. Without guidance, it cannot be. It's not, it's even whatever, whether you can say self-preparation or kind of other guidance, but you need something, where you have to follow the correct path or correct line. When we say correct path or correct line, it means, every time you do something and you introspect, at times you feel, this is the way I'm doing it and it must be right. And in fact, there's a problem with that 80% of the people, in fact, 90% of the people think at most of the time that whatever I'm doing is the right or the best way. But when you take a neutral opinion of someone, that is the correct opinion which you can get, whether it is a right or wrong or what kind of improvement you can add on to it. So that's why we say correct guidance. It can kind of any form. Maybe sitting in front of your friends or maybe from your teachers, from whatever angle you talk about. So if you talk about these 5, so I think the first thing is to take a first step. You decide mentally, okay, I have to go to this academy. Second thing is you maintain this disciplined life. Your mind, your action, and your thoughts, your speech, everything should be one. Follow this disciplined life. You just cannot, get away from this. Today I will prepare, tomorrow I will leave, and then one day on, one day off, nothing. If you decided that discipline, because from today onwards, when you go to SSB thinking someone is, appointing you or taking you or recruiting you, whatever you say, or selecting as an officer to lead so many men. Ashwant, you have seen this life such a long time, and you yourself, lead a life not only from after an academy, but in fact in before academy as a part of NCC candidate. When you see this life, so you know how much discipline is important in this life, and hardworking, discipline, and use your mind. See, at times people think, okay, I'm going to armed forces, now there's no more studies. That is, I think not the way. You have to study a lot. I mean, without academics, nothing can happen. If you think that you don't need to study and you just want to go away from the study, that's why you want to join armed forces. So there's a lots of time you hear this from people. Okay, sir, I don't want to study anymore. That's why I want to join armed forces. Believe me, guys, then this is not for you. Okay, and I think Ashwant can tell this in a better way.
Correct, sir. Anyway, so now those who have listened to Commander Vikas sir, the question what I asked was, just a 5 basic advices or 5 basic tips. And I want you people, aspirants, type in your chat box, what are those 5 tips which he has said? Okay. So we are monitoring you, we are watching you, because you all know we have got a contest at the end of the program. So I want you people to be active. I want you people to be live. It has to be a conversation from you people. So the question was, I just asked 5 tips. He just gave 5 tips. So answer those. Mention your name, mention your place, and your WhatsApp number. Okay. Now, sir, many candidates ask me, these are the general questions which candidates ask us, which you would have also got the question. That's what I was literally thought of just compiling those and to have a conversation with you. So, many people have a thought process, or many candidates go without preparation after their +2, just go for NDA exam. If they are academically brilliant, they just clear the exam, and one sudden day they get the SSB call letter. And many people go for the SSB. Few people clear, few people may not clear. Likewise, after graduation, they go write the CDS exam, they clear it, they go for SSB interview. So my question is, does a candidate, he or she, they need to prepare, or they can just go, blindly for the SSB interview? What is your takeaway?
Okay, actually, we always, say the best personalities, like whatever you are, just show it to yourself. But Ashwant, I mean, I think there is not a single exam which we can count where you can go without preparation. Because if you go without preparation, the n number of things a candidate may not be aware about it, and at times, he will not be able to perform his best. And when hundreds of candidates are coming, and believe me, 95% coming after lots of preparation. So this 5% actually doesn't have any chance in the sense, not because they cannot be, there is no bias system or nothing. Even in fact, it doesn't matter whether you're prepared or not. But if you're not prepared, you even not half of the time you will keep searching what is happening next. But with a bit preparation, you just have some kind of guidance, which kind of tests are there. And preparation can be from any kind of, any sources which they say. But, some kind of preparation where, and it is also required, because when you go for a test, you must be aware about what this test is all about. So going without any kind of preparation also shows in itself, I mean, the candidate is not interested about the test, because he's not, I mean, he's just getting her coming there. So I always say, you should always prepare and then come.
Okay, some interruption in between. This was a general question which many candidates ask us. Sir, do we need to actually prepare? Okay, you are back anyway. I was just continuing from where you have stopped. Anyway, please continue, sir.
Yeah, I was saying, I mean, this is the kind of preparation is, of course, it is required. You need to know about what test is all about, what kind of assessment they're going to happen and all. And in today's scenario, I mean, it is very obvious when people go without preparation. I mean, how can you be serious about it? Your seriousness itself shows. I mean, likewise, Abhi, so many candidates are live right now, listening to all these things, writing the chats and all. It shows the seriousness. I mean, they want to know more about the SSB, how they can go about it. And somebody thinking like, I mean, just going like this, I mean, nothing happen. I mean, nothing is ready in the plate, something like you just go there in SSB and people are going to gift it to you. Not like this. So I advise one should know about what test is all about.
So you mean to say, of course, preparation is required. Today,
yes,
for preparing, everything is available in social media. If you just type, Google Baba will give you everything.
Yeah.
They will give you the entire SSB in front of you. So, but still, people are confused because the information today is distorted. Many candidates are confused, or you can say it is like a information overload. Either it is distorted or it is like information overload. And today it's like they are confused. So searching for a mentor in life, or to guide you in the proper direction, we need a person who can guide you, or we say is a mentor. So how can we choose a right mentor according to you?
Okay, Ashant, before this, I'll tell you why at times, and you just wrote a very right question in the Google. You say n number amount of data. You just type YouTube and you'll get a huge amount of data. So why, you should not go to Google and, in fact, I'm not saying you should not go, but, why preparation cannot be done. See, every personality, especially when we talk about SSB, every personality is different. I mean, both of us are totally different in the way we work, way we think, we perceive these ideas. Suppose there are two candidates. Somebody say, okay, you have to be confident when you go to SSB. Now there is a guy who's already very confident, speaks quite well. In fact, at times speak a bit more. Another guy who's a bit shy, need to enhance this kind of skill in his own personality. Now, if you apply the same thing to both the candidate, okay, you have to be confident. From confidence, what do you understand? Okay, you have to be more participative. So candidate who is a bit, weak or not able to speak, may get benefited from this advice. Okay, when you speak, but he is speaking less, he understanding, okay, if I speak a bit more or, participate in this activity, be more confident, I can, be better. The same thinking is, if the same process is being applied with other candidate who is already on the at the higher end, instead of become more confident, he'll become overconfident and seems to be quite bossy. So this, there is no pre-planned or something like it is a pre-packed idea which can be given to everyone, and this is same. So it has to be, under some kind of a guidance or supervision. I mean, suppose, and that guidance, I'm not saying, but you have to go to some particular guy, do this. It can be anything. At times of friends, or maybe, in a close proximity. But what happened when we are in the close proximity, we're seeing each other for a very long time, or the same teacher, we just tend to ignore these things. So any person who is a bit neutral, seeing you the first time, if, he can actually tell you a bit, I mean, have some kind of basic idea about the personality assessment, of course. And he can tell you, okay, you are a bit overconfident, you have to reduce this, or you're overconfident, you need to, control yourself and not need to be bossy. Somebody is underconfident, he need to, enhance his skills. So these differences, very important. So that's why, one should not go to this and choose a, go to a proper guy. And now comes to the second question, which is how to find this, correct mentor. That is very important. And I mean, there is no shortcut, or there's no, clear-cut answer to this. It is like individual decision. But, when you are going to an individual guys, of course, it should have some kind of authenticity. It is not today's, n number of people are here into the market, or, anywhere. I mean, lots of people are there. And it's not like everyone can tell you anything. I mean, there are two different concepts here. One is business and one is actually, your dedication. So as a candidate, when you have to see whether it's right or wrong, I think one should see at least the authentication, what kind of a work profile he has done in the past, and whether is it totally neutral. Better to go to a neutral place rather than to a known place. Neutral in the sense, I mean, known, I'm not saying you don't go to known place, but it is in such a sense like who's interactive, like a parent. Like suppose tomorrow, despite being in so many years in SSB, maybe I cannot guide my own daughters or my own sons. Why? Reason being because, over a period of time, we tend to neglect so many, things in life, and we just accept it. But when you see a person from a neutral perspective, you are able to, judge him properly. So just go to a person who is neutral. And second is some kind of authentic. Of course, going to SSB, somebody have an experience of SSBs, or maybe earlier access into these fields, and the better option. That's all.
Like when you completed, now you are retired now, you got enough opportunities from corporate world to take up the corporate role, but you had a mission, or you had a long time vision. You are a visionary, we all know that, and you wanted to give back something to the society, correct? That is the reason that you have taken up the role as a mentor. And as you said, now a mentor is required for anybody who are really serious. Today's world is like competition everywhere, whether you see it in SSB also. If you are preparing for a 10 standard student who seriously looking into NDA and clearing the NDA exam, then going for the SSB interview, or for a graduate after his BSc or BTech, clearing the exam and then going for SSB interview. Many times they think, let me complete the plus two and then prepare for whatever competitive exams. But here, a mentor plays an important role. So, as you said, a mentor is required. Now, sir, after 10th or after plus two, when a candidate has taken a decision, now let me prepare for SSB. If this candidate takes a decision after 10th, now he has to clear plus one, plus two. And then normally students prepare for JEE, engineering or medical. But at the same time, if a student is interested in joining the armed forces as an officer, of course, he has got 2 years in front of him to mold himself. So that means a big window is there for him. Similarly, a graduate, after when he started his graduation, he has got 3 years or he has got 4 years for BTech. If he has taken a decision here, like now, let me prepare vertically for armed forces. My career is now to become an officer in the armed forces. Now, there are two candidates coming. I mean, I'm telling the junk of people. After plus two, those go for NDA stroke NAVAC, or after graduation, people go for CDSE or respective exams and SSB. So, if a candidate is literally preparing for his SSB interview, whether after plus two or whether after graduation, he has got a big window. Here, a mentor plays an important role, as you said rightly. So, taking a decision well in advance and preparing yourself makes it worth. Am I right? Or in the last moment, just after plus two, you decided, now let me start for preparing SSB interview. So, which is better, sir? Adequate amount giving for your preparation with a mentor, or in the last moment jump and then, sir, I've received my SSB call letter 2 months after I have my SSB. Now let me prepare. So what is your perspective towards this?
Yashwant, I think as soon as you are ready, I mean, you have basic understanding of his surroundings. I mean, say a candidate in class 10th, when he passed out, he basically understand what is happening in his environment. We talk about environment is like in his area, as nationally, internationally. I mean, he has this basic sense. He can apply his mind. So as soon as you are, you make up your mind is the best thing, because first of all, you have lots of things to prepare, and you have lots of time also. Now, suppose you have some kind of a, we cannot say, I mean, problem in the personality, but there is a way, like, how you speak, your way of communications, kind of a news you read about. It requires some time, I mean, to understand all these things. Or maybe as a personality, it just cannot happen, at times, it can be molded a candidate. But suppose you have 1 year to, change all these things. The practice of 1 year, of course, any time is better than the 1 month or 15 days and 10 days or 12 days. In fact, as early as you prepare, so much of time you have, to enhance your skills and work further onto this. Like you take the exam. I mean, it's very obvious. I mean, somebody thinks like, just my exams are coming. It's same like it happens to normal exam. The n number of candidates you will find, in very students also, they only study during their exam. Percentage also they scored like that only. Somebody is preparing from day one, the entire year. I mean, from the day one of his school. So he also, result is also the same. So that was individual basis. So at times you find very difficult to work upon those aspects in the last moment of time. So if you have a huge amount of time, especially we talk about, when we talk about 10 plus 2, any 10 plus 2 entry, whether it's the NDA or 10 plus 2 tech, TS entry, I mean, in those entries, more the time is available to a candidate, more benefit he will be. And because as such a tender age, it's very easy to mold a candidate and, tell him, okay, these things you can work upon. So I think the moment you're ready, you decided that you have to. I'm telling you, I mean, in fact, you are telling in 12th, but I'm saying you need not to go to some kind of academy, in such a young age, like 8, 9, 10. But the day you decided, okay, I want to become an officer in armed forces, whether in class 8th or 9th, is the day you should start preparing for it. At least take some guidance from somewhere. Okay, for the next 2 years, how my behavior has to be. People think, okay, I'll just, kind of, and it's not like you have to do some kind of exact preparation. You have to read this or you have to, read something else. It is not just reading, but the overall personality enhancement. The game you play, the behavior you adopt, the social life you maintain, the initiative you take in your life, and all these things can be guided.
So what is your one advice to the parents? Because we get many calls from parents that my son is now in +1, +2 or degree. We would like to give him proper guidance. So, or many parents whose kids are not interested, they wanted their son or daughter to join the armed forces as an officer. So what is your one advice that you would like to give the parents? Because there are a few parents also in the show, and many parents have given us a call regarding the same. So I just want them to get enlightened through your words.
Okay. Actually, for the parents, first thing is you should discuss with the child, tell him the entire, career prospects. You need to motivate your child first before you bring him to the guidance. And I think you have to be more proactive in their preparation, because especially I'm talking about those who says 10+2, because the graduate candidate is, self-motivated, and in fact, he's aware what he wants to do in his life, or, she wants to do in her life. But at 10+2, I think it's more about a parental guidance rather than a candidate's own initiative, because such young age he may not be aware or of what options available to him. So I think they should be aware, take him to the correct place, or just focus on a child in enhancing his overall personality, not whether it is whether it's ND or not. It's not about like you have to become an armed forces only. Whatever career they decide, I mean, parents' role is very much important in these initial stages. And at least, I mean, this is such an amazing career for ND, and there's nothing. Trust me, Ashwin, I mean, you know already, and that's for parents also, that there's no career which can be better than the armed forces. So at least know about these aspects, options which are available for a child. It is not just suppose he failed the ND examinations for one chance. I mean, he failed the written examination. It's not that his options to operate in SSB is over. No, other ways and means, like there are different entries. At least parents should know. Then only they can tell their child, like their 10+2 tech entry. There is there's another entry also, like you have appeared in J on basis of a J score, and sometime on basis of your own percentage in class 12th, you have come for these assessments. So these things parents should be aware. Then only he or she can guide their work accordingly.
That's a very valuable suggestion, advice for the parents. You being a senior GTO, sir, more than 5 years of assessment in SSB boards, commissioning crew, might have seen so many candidates across during your tenure. Would you like to comment, or would you like to recollect any one moment, memorable moment, we say, like being in Navy? I am sure you can say thousands of memorable moments. Even being in SSB as a GTU, I'm sure you would have got those moments which on a table we just discussed. So that was a memorable moment. Would you like to recollect, or would you like to throw as a this moment can be like an advice, or just as a you just would like to share that moment? One moment. I know you have thousands, but one moment if you would like to recollect or say.
I'll just share one funny moment. I mean, there's a lot of misconception which this candidate carry along with it. They think, and in fact, not one or two, lots of candidates, they think they're being assessed at railway stations, or maybe in the trains, or while they sleep, they walk, they talk. But it is not the case. I mean, I just keep, telling. And at time when the candidate asks during debrief, so the tests are designed in such a way that they can be assessed very easily during their test. They're not assessed any other place other than these testing area, because it is more than enough. Of course, one has not to be defaulted in the disciplinary things. I think these are the funny things which is happening. But when we talk about one memorable moment, I think it is not one. So it is very difficult, in fact, to tell that one moment. It is a number of moments. And a huge amount. I mean, every conference you have lots of candidates discussed. So, this is something which is, I cannot do justice if I talk about one. But yes, the few candidates you always remember forever because they're so well prepared. When they speak, you feel like to listen to them. Kind of knowledge they possesses, the logic they apply to their things, and these are the things which you always remember in those candidates. I still remember a few of my candidates, which I selected.
That's great, sir. Nice. Anyway, we have been, this program was till 9 p.m. I think we are overshooting the time, but still we will wind up with one last question because many queries have been there in the chat boxes. All these queries, we will answer to that. Don't worry. One last question, sir, as you said, mentor plays an important role. Now, what according to you makes your dream, or as you have taken up a mission to give the mentorship to those aspirants who are looking ahead in life for preparing for SSB interview? What makes Nidus Academy, according to you, a better place? Or, is Nidus a better mentor? Or what makes Nidus Academy the best, according to you, sir?
Okay, Ashwant, as I always say, that depends on individual intention, how we start. And when the intention is totally right, your aim is clear, what is your aim? You just want these candidates to achieve their dreams. So, there's two different things. One is, why I find Nidus, much better better option in today's scenario, because it is not so much commercialized. And the aim which you have taken, I have seen, kind of vision which, in fact, you possesses somebody, who is working from such a starting, excel in novel career. And, whenever is required. And it is, I think it's not the first time when it is coming right now. It's an opportunity. Having, and that's why I always recommend the Nidus, better than any other academy, because intention of the individual who is running this, it is moreover the helping these candidates rather than making it commercial. And of course, I'm very happy the kind of assessors here you have, capro instructors, or the mentors we call it now. They have very huge amount of exposure in their SSB field. They have seen enough number of life examples, not only their service career but also in the assessment career as well. So that's why I think all these things make Nidus special, and I hope this candidate will achieve their dreams. To become an officer, whoever comes here and join the platform.
Thanks a lot for your valuable suggestion. As you said, you being the senior GTO and Captain Sanjay Jaiswal being the senior interviewing officer, and Lieutenant Commander KP Singh, sir, senior psychologist, all the three senior lords who has been in the service selection boards are mentoring candidates is one of the best combination that anyone can get. Along with that, this mind tuning, mind strengthening sessions that we add, because today's scenarios, many candidates, whether they are appearing for written examinations or SSB interview or any competitive examination, what makes them or when they sit in front of the panelists or whether they sit in front of the exam hall, mind gets puzzled, the anxiety comes. So here, the mind strengthening session by our neuro-linguistic programmer, NLP trainer, Mr. Anup John, plays an important role, which we have thought about it, and we have added this along with the courses that we are giving, whether it is for written examination batches which happens or whether for the SSB interview mentorship programs that we give, is something a value added thing which many candidates have appreciated it. So, valuable time with you, sir. You have given a lot of advices. the basic things, because I know if we start, there is no end for this conversation, because lots and lots of things can be discussed about SSB interview. GTO aspect itself, we have not gone into IO thing, we have not gone into psychology, which we will be doing in our subsequent sessions. Even about GTO itself, you can talk without any time constraint. You have been through that, but we are cutting short the conversation with bare minimum information what candidates need to know. Many queries are there which we will be addressing it. As we have said in the beginning, for those who have been patiently listening towards the end, there's a contest which we have kept for those who are keen in joining in NIDAS for the courses, which we have already said in the flyer. So the link which I'm going to share will be a Google form, which is a small basic aptitude test, which will have 30 questions. You got 15 minutes. There's a timer also along with that, which will automatically cut off. Once you complete, because we start our timer from here also at the same time, when you open, your timer also starts. Once you complete, just ping us that you completed. We are observing from here. And the first three, the best three, as we have said in the notification, will be getting those 3 prizes. So let us give a big appreciation by giving a wonderful clap to virtual clap to Commander Vikas sir for giving valuable inputs to us, sir. Many people have missed, many people couldn't attend due exigency, whatever emergencies they have, but for them your session recording we will be sharing, sir. Now the last part of our program, which is the contest, which I'm going to share the link now. This link you all can access it from your I hope the link is now visible. Open that link, complete the aptitude test. We will get the once you complete it, we will also get the intimation. So your time starts now. 15 minutes just for 30 questions. You can do it and report to us. We will be waiting for the first 3 to announce the results in our NIDAS website and in the NIDAS Instagram FB pages. So your time has already started, guys. Anyway, let me wind up this session. Thank you, Vikas sir, for your valuable time. You have imparted tips, your important variables, valuable suggestions to the parents and even to the candidates. I hope if at least 50% have gone into the head of the candidates, I think they can make it. And with your mentorship with the NIDAS Academy, the candidates who are going to come will benefit. I'm sure there's no doubt in that. So from the bottom of the heart, on behalf of NIDAS Academy, thank you, sir, for your valuable time. Jai Hind, sir.
Thank you. Jai Hind, and thank you, Ashwant. I wish all the candidates also all the best in all their efforts. And if anyone, any doubt, any question, any query, in fact, we can put in the chat box now, or maybe we can message here, and I'll be happy to solve all this query.
Thank you, sir. Jai Hind.
Thank you.
Good night, all. Good night. Jai Hind.